Hey, welcome back to The Irrational, the podcast where we discuss various pieces of media and the fears that they've instilled in us. Thank you again for joining me. For anyone who is a fan of the show and is concerned over what happened last week, I just want to let you know that I am safe and sound back in the cabin. I made it back. Turns out that highway's not too far from my cabin. I had no idea. But yeah, I made it back safe and sound. The boards are gone from the windows and doors. But so are like the windows and the doors. Like they're not there anymore. Just holes in my cabin. And there was a bunch of candles, lots and lots of candles everywhere. The electricity still works. I don't know why my landlord would sneak in and put in all these candles. I don't need them. They don't even smell good. But yeah, this week we've got my very good friend Tyler Snodgrass. Tyler is a very funny comedian working in Chicago, and we discuss The Exorcist and other possession movies and just try to get to the bottom of why these movies stress Tyler out so much. And I think we both discover things about ourselves in this conversation. Or not. Maybe we made things worse. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I know we sure did. Like usual, we plug everything at the end. So without further ado, Tyler Snodgrass. So Tyler, you watched The Exorcist at what age?
Oh man,
I just jumped right into this. I'm so bad at these transitions.
No, I did. You are correct. Everything you're saying so far is correct. It was an age, and it was The Exorcist. I want to say maybe like 9.
Wow. Okay.
Like 9 years old, and it was on television. So it's not like it's not like my parents like put it in or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I tell a story. Like I never really made it funny. I tried to make this like a story on stage, but I saw Schindler's List the same way. I was watching like cartoons on Channel 11 on like a Sunday afternoon, and then it like in the evening it just switched over to like, hey, here's our Sunday afternoon movie.
Right.
And it was Schindler's List, and out of respect they didn't edit, like they didn't censor anything.
Whoa.
So I was just a child watching this, and my parents, they weren't like, it's not like they were negligent. They just thought I was watching cartoons, and we had basic cable. So like, what was the worst thing I could find, you know? And it turns out Schindler's List is the worst thing I could find.
And they just didn't censor it at all? That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. And then like, so I'm wondering how much they censored The Exorcist, considering that has like religious, themes. Maybe they left a lot more in.
I think, well, there's a lot of the fuck word in the real one. So they take that out.
Sure.
But I think most of the imagery they leave in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
swears are like the least like important part, like when it comes to scarring a child.
Yeah, but you still see like the help me on the stomach, and you still, there's the crawling and the vomit. Like none of that's taken out.
Yeah.
All the visuals are that's fine.
Yeah. And this really freaked you out.
Yeah, really, that's what it was. It was like, well, it's like, because the visuals is what stuck with me. Like that's obviously the premise scared me, but like the visuals really brought it home.
Yeah.
Because then I could like be in my bed and it's dark and all I can see is a scary face or whatever it is. So yeah, I was thoroughly freaked out. I avoided scary movies until I was in high school.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I had a previous guest, my friend John Campbell. He saw an episode of X-Files too young, and then he avoided scary movies because of that too. So it's funny that like you both just like, nope, I saw my scary thing. I'm done for a while.
Yeah, for real. And now I love scary movies. And in high school I got really into them because I stopped being scared of them in general.
Yeah,
at least most of them. And so your friends get together and you make fun of them because you can't drink or drive or anything like that. Not that you should be doing both at the same time. But
sure.
You know what I mean.
But it's like you can't leave your town.
Yeah.
And then you're also not drunk in your shitty town. So you're
exactly.
like, well, let's watch someone's attempt at art and make fun of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're 14, you go to Blockbuster, and then you just eat chips and make fun of 3 movies. And that's your day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I avoided because I was like, that's what movies are. This was too scary. But obviously this conversation is not about scary movies, but like the possession thing has always stuck with me. So like even still, if there are movies that are like a little too supernatural or like involve people being controlled by, ghosts or demons, like that, that spooks me. Like I'm still kind of freaked out.
But no, there have been like Taking of Deborah Logan. Have you seen anything for that? I haven't seen it because it looks too scary.
Too scary. Is it new?
Yeah, newer, like within the last 5 years, I want to say.
Okay.
And it's like this woman, and she gets possessed, and it looks really well done to the point where I'm like, no, I can't fuck with that. Like,
right.
Possession stuff does freak me out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why though, because I'm not religious, and I haven't really been religious ever. Like, The Exorcist actually didn't frighten me when I first saw it because I just didn't have religion in my life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that. They're like, oh, I mean, I had it in my life, but I just personally am not religious.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that The Exorcist itself is way scarier because of all like the religious themes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I also saw it when I was like 24.
Oh, gotcha.
I saw it in a weird setting. I was at a 24-hour horror movie marathon, and it was the last movie they played.
Oh.
And so I stayed up for 24 hours watching shitty, scary movies, and then I saw that, and my
stayed
brain
awake
was
for
just
all of
melted.
it?
Yeah, it was because
Wow.
like the first year I went, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm staying awake the whole 24 hours.
Yeah.
And years after that, I would fall asleep every time. But the
Mhm.
first year I saw it, first year I went, I stayed up for the whole 24 hours, and then I watched The Exorcist.
Solid closer.
Yeah, it was a great closer, but it was not a good movie to watch when your brain is just shutting down.
Yeah, just exhausted. That makes sense.
Like I couldn't react to anything. I was just staring at the screen like, what is happening?
Just absorbing just the sounds and images. I think it is scarier if you are a believer,
Yeah.
if you have some religion in your life, but only because the religious people struggle so much in fighting against the demon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of spooky to be like, all right, so God is real and God takes care of us, except in this situation where the only thing that can defeat the bad thing is God, and it's not working.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because it's like, I don't know, like these are men trying to use God's power. Is it that, or is God just letting this, like, I get why that would be.
Yeah.
Were you religious as a kid?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I grew up Southern Baptist.
Okay, so one of the big ones.
One of the big ones, yeah. Real popular in
Yeah.
Southwest Missouri, being Southern Baptist. And I think I grew up lucky with a family that, like, we went to church all the time, and I was, like, very involved in my church. But also, my parents were not, like, Bible thumpers, you might say.
Sure.
They were very reasonable and, like, and politically progressive.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like, they're very Democrat.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. Which is cool. So I had like a nice mix of things, and I was allowed to kind of figure stuff out on my own. But definitely I was surrounded by church
Right.
a lot.
Like they were probably Southern Baptist because they were just where Southern Baptists were. Like,
Yeah, probably so. I
Like-
think that was a big part of it.
yeah, just like a location type of thing.
Yeah, where I'm from, I mean, I guess there's some options. And it's so interesting because my whole family is like deviated. So like I think my dad's parents were Southern Baptist. My mom's parents like aren't anything. So
Yeah.
then my mom just adopted religion at some point. I'm not even sure when. But
Yeah.
then like my dad's siblings go to different denominations. My mom's siblings are like married into Mormonism. So I don't know. It's like kind of all over the place. It does feel kind of arbitrary,
Yeah.
I guess, to affirm your point.
Well, that is funny because it's like if you are really like you are raised religious to a point, so like you do have belief in everything, but it's still kind of across the board, so your belief might not be super specific, and then you see this movie and you're like, I don't know what to believe. How do I combat this? Because you don't have like the knowledge of one particular religion being like, no, this is the way to get over this type of stuff. You're just like, oh, I have all of this stuff to grab from. I don't know what to. That might be immobilizing in your fear.
Yeah, I think that is maybe something to do with it. And like I guess it's Catholic priests who are doing the exorcism.
Yeah.
Right? It's always Catholics.
Right. It's always Catholics.
It's always Catholics. And we weren't that. And I only knew like a couple Catholics growing up. But for some reason that didn't matter. I guess it was just like, oh man, the devil's real powerful.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, yeah. So I don't know. I think that contributed to the fear, just knowing that like you could be defeated even if faith is on your side or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's like, what is like she going through in that moment? Is she even present? Like, does she know that this is happening, or is her body just a vessel, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, because if that's the case, that's like way scarier, because then you're like, imagine you're trapped in your mind with that and just like watching your body do these things. Like that would be, I don't know. But I also have like kind of like a when things are beyond my control type of fear. So I think that plays into that, where I'm like scared of possession, because then it's like, well, like I have no control in this situation.
I'm so glad you said that, because since we've been talking about doing the podcast, I have like tried to lock down like what is it exactly, and that's it, I think. Because that's like still something that I deal with, is like just not being in control. Yeah, and that's being possessed by the devil is the ultimate not being in control. Yeah. Because not only are you're just like a husk for like something horrible to happen, but you have to also like experience and be just in contorted pain the whole time, presumably. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because it's beyond just you. Because it's your body is now being used as the tool for destruction, and that just feels weird. Because like let me run a few things past you. Like, I've never seen Misery. Okay. Because I don't want to. Because that just feels like there's really something that hits me hard about like helplessness. Like this man is trapped in a bed. Yeah. He literally doesn't have options because both of his ankles and she keeps breaking his ankles. Like he can't even
she
stop.
hobbles him.
Yeah. So like that, like, or I think I'm sorry, I haven't seen it, so I might be getting some of those details wrong, but I know they're pretty close to being accurate.
You're close.
But it's still like he's just helpless in bed. Does that freak you out at all? Like that type of helplessness?
Yes, also. I think, the idea of that's very scary to me.
Because I mean, obviously that's scary, but I mean, like, does it get you like deep down in like a weird way?
I don't think it does.
Oh no.
The same way, because I've seen Misery, and you know, you're watching and you're like, oh, this is fucked up. But I've also never like stayed awake at night, like being like, oh man, that scene where that woman.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I haven't lost sleep over it.
Yeah.
But when I'm seeing it, it really,
the idea
something deep down inside me is like, oh, this is not okay. I don't feel good right now.
Definitely.
It's like a claustrophobic type of thing.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a parallel kind of fear. Like if not being in control of yourself or like having options is a fear, which it sounds like it is for you and me. Like that's why I don't even do drugs a lot of the times, because I'm like, what if I can't make it stop when I want it to?
Right.
Like just the idea of that has kept me away from doing all sorts of things that make me would make me very cool.
Yeah. You could be the coolest guy in Chicago.
I could be the coolest guy if I just get over this control thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think that, the possession thing hit me harder earlier. And I think also just like it's more extreme. Like the supernatural element makes it seem more intense. And then there's all these scary visuals on purpose, which I guess has elevated it in my mind above like movies like Saw or Misery or other like kidnapping movies.
Sure.
Like those are all terrible scenarios that are truly terrifying if they are real.
Right.
But for some reason, they haven't stuck with me the same way.
Well, I mean, probably because so in the Saw situation or in the Misery situation, more in the Misery situation, you as a human, you know you're combating a human. And sure, they have the upper hand, but like, you know all their weaknesses and stuff. They're just a human.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, getting possessed, you're learning how to combat this as it's happening to you. I guess like you have like no control over it.
Yeah.
You're just stuck with this.
It's something much more powerful than you.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing, something else with that is maybe it's applicable to all of them, but in the demon situation, that just might be your life forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, in Saw, it's like, well, I'll probably die in 30 seconds if I don't get this key or whatever.
Right.
Hopefully it's one of those and not one of those you're trapped in the bathroom forever situations. But, yeah, if you're possessed by a demon, I don't know, does that thing keep you alive for eternity? Like, can you just not escape forever? And that's like a real scary idea also, that you could never pass.
Right.
Like, you just have to always
And then if you
do
die, like if someone kills you, you don't even die as yourself. Like this demon killed you, and everyone's like last memories is you being a weird monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so are you afraid at all of it externally, like people around you?
Because like
What do you mean?
another example, Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
He's in that cabin, and there's
Mhm.
like some spirit or something. I don't know. I saw it a very long time ago. Like inhabiting the people he's with.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think it kind of jumps around at first, and then it mostly sticks in one woman. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time. Are you afraid at all of an external, like a possession near you? I mean, of course you're afraid of it, but I mean, like, does this play into that fear at all, or is it just you? Are you just afraid of you?
I think it's still scary. It's scary for different reasons, I guess. Yeah, it's still scary. You haven't seen the new Evil Dead, have you?
No.
The remake?
No.
Oh boy, it's good.
Yeah.
It is not very campy. It is very scary.
I want to see it because I think I ordered it from the library because I want to watch the whole series, like when he goes to the underworld and all that shit. Because apparently that's where it gets really fun. Because I didn't like the first Evil Dead movie.
Oh yeah.
I didn't dislike it, but I just didn't. I was like, why is this? Like, why does everyone like hold this up on their shoulders and shit? But then it turns out that you have to watch the series as a whole, and that's where I missed out.
Oh, so you haven't seen 2 or Army of Darkness?
Yeah, neither of them. So, but I don't want to rewatch the first one because it's just so screechy and I don't like it. So I'm gonna watch the remake and then get into the other 2.
Remake is significantly different.
Yeah.
It's a good time. But yeah, there's a part in the remake. I watched it in theaters. And the part that scared me the most was when the girl gets possessed and they like trap her in the basement because they like don't know what to do with her. Right now she's the super powerful monster girl, and she switches back and forth between being like herself and she's like whimpering and begging for help, and then switches into like and she's like clawing at the floor. It's like it's super scary.
Yeah, that's like that. I think might freak me out more because like a possession thing, I don't know, like it's like same thing with just day to day. Like I'm more afraid of a loved one getting shot than me getting shot. So like I guess like in that situation that'd be more scary to me because how do you can't kill, because it's like if you kill this demon you're killing your friend, you know, there's no way to fight it, and all they do is put it in the basement, and that's just scary because it's like, how do we get this out of you? You know, that just seems even more helpless. Like, I don't know.
Or if you even kill it?
Exactly.
You know, like do you kill your friend and it escapes like as a spirit?
Maybe jumps into a new person.
Or does she have all these powers now and you couldn't even harm her anyway? I guess it varies from movie to movie. But
sure.
Yeah, I think that's...
But that's what's scary about it is there's no answer. Yeah. It's a completely unknown thing.
Geez. Yeah, and there's also this element of the unknown. Man, this is getting scarier the more we talk about it.
I've said this before. I really thought when I had this like idea for a podcast, like I would talk to people about their fears and then we would like kind of hash some shit out and maybe they would walk away feeling better. I don't think that's happened. People might walk away feeling worse. I know I personally walk away with new phobias like every single week.
Every single day. Oh, geez.
Like because of Danny did varicose veins last week.
Okay.
And now when I'm at comedy shows, I'm like, I should find a seat. I shouldn't stand here for 2 hours because standing like helps, because with gravity it like helps you, it helps varicose veins appear in your legs and shit. And now I'm thinking about that all the time.
Oh no.
So this podcast is gonna ruin me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is still really charged into religion though, because I feel like possession as a concept in movies wouldn't be so scary if we weren't raised with the idea that possession is a legitimate thing. Because even in movies where the possession has nothing to do with religion, like in Evil Dead, I don't think it is tied to religion at all. It's just some kind of
so either
like demon or ghoul or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know. But even in those, there's still this believability to it because we were raised with, like, I mean, at least Christians, you know.
Yeah.
We were raised with the idea that this could potentially happen. A demon could inhabit a body. And then it's no longer science fiction if you're raised believing in this, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess it could affect you from a bunch of different angles. Like, because on one side of things, if you're like, well, I'm aware of it, it's not very important, like, these movies might be for some people, confirming that like, oh, God's real and the devil's real. You
Yeah.
should be afraid of the devil because he's real. Like that. Or it could go back to what I said, which is like the devil's real, and also sometimes God can't help you.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, ugh, that's still. I don't even, my beliefs are a bit more complicated or reasonable now than they used to be. But even still, like that idea laid out like that, like if God is real, he can't always help you. Like that's kind of,
Yeah, because I
scary.
mean, it is like the idea is like it's all part of like the plan, like the divine plan and all that stuff.
Right.
So it's like that's like the explanation for like why sometimes bad things happen. But then it's also like if a demon is possessing someone, isn't that like a demon intervening with the plan? Shouldn't there be some kind of reaction or failsafe to that? But then it's like, no, you just have to use the power of your beliefs and religion to combat that.
Yeah.
It's also
How do demons get involved? I don't even remember how she gets possessed in the movie, The Exorcist.
I don't remember either. I don't know if
Does it just happen?
I think she just slowly is getting more sick, they think, and then they
Turns
start to
out-
realize that she's possessed. Like I think it starts off she seems like she's got an illness.
Right.
But I forget if was it like did they take a vacation somewhere haunted or like I can't remember,
I don't remember
how
either.
it started.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. Same. Plus, like I said, it was after 22 hours of horror
Yeah,
movies, so
right.
I can't really recall a lot of details.
Yeah.
But
But like
probably
that-
should have done some research. If I was a good host, I might have
Should have looked at
read the
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
But that's another thing I think that's scary is, well, it's like, what do you think is scarier? Like if there's like a movie with a killer or something, a killer who like does it with purpose, or a killer who just does it haphazardly.
Oh yeah, the second one is way scarier.
So much scarier, right?
Because you can't figure out patterns. You
Mhm.
can't like combat that really. Like I mean, you can, but it's way more difficult.
Yeah.
If someone has purpose, you can like find their weak spots and stuff.
Yeah, or avoid something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if demon possession is the thing that happens, like it probably does not take place because you like fucked around with the wrong book.
Right.
You know, it's like a demon just shows up in your life and picks you.
Yeah.
And that's, you have no control over that. You
Mhm.
know, like you can't see it coming or prepare for it or anything.
I think that was one of the scarier parts of The Exorcist was that she just, like, what did she do to deserve this? She was just
Mhm.
a child, and then it was like, you know what, this one, I'm gonna get inside that one.
And she like suffers the whole time because there's like that part where she's like carving "help me" in like the stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that means she's aware and she's
That's what, yeah, because I'm like, is that help me a ploy from the demon to freak them out and make them like, just like they like make them not think straight and shit, or is that her trying to reach out, like saying
is
like,
that
I'm in here, please
a
help
moment
me.
of strength from her to like, it's real. It's no good. So I don't think I've watched a possession movie on purpose since then. Because I don't really I don't consider Evil Dead a possession movie necessarily, but obviously it's in there. I saw Paranormal Activity, the first one, and that definitely freaked me out.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Mostly. So I think that they just like move into a house.
Right.
And that
And the house is
it's
already
like,
possessed or
shouldn't have
haunted.
moved in that house. It's
Yeah.
a bad house. And so I think it's the girlfriend or the wife, because it's a couple that moves in. She like starts getting possessed, and it's like she starts walking around and stuff. So they put up a camera in their bedroom.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be all found footage,
Right.
which is so much scarier. It's obviously not.
Yeah.
It's a huge fake thing because they've made like 8 sequels.
Right, exactly.
But so the scariest part is they show what goes on with night vision on the camera they set up in their bedroom at night. And some nights it's just they are just in bed. And then some nights they're both in bed, and then the sheet just moves off the bed on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then later the girl like gets up out of bed, like just like stands up at a 90-degree angle, walks around the room, and then just stares at her husband for like 6 hours, and then goes back into bed.
Oh, wow.
And like that, like the time lapse of just her standing there, like barely moving, staring at her husband. He has no idea. Like,
Yeah.
like that's so, I'm getting chills talking about it. Like it's so scary to me, because for both angles, like what if you woke up and saw that? Good God.
Yeah.
but also you don't know you're doing that. That's a thing inside
Yeah.
your body.
And so what? Like she would wake up the next day with no recollection of this?
Yeah.
See, that's way scarier.
Right?
Like, oh god, that's so much worse because she's just like, what the fuck? I didn't do that. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
And like the end of the movie, if you don't mind me spoiling the end of the
No,
movie.
I don't give a shit.
Sorry, listeners, if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen this movie from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think there's like a couple different endings. And like the one they didn't put in theaters is supposed to be like way scarier or something
Yeah.
like that. Oh wait, no, I remember. So I'll tell you both if I'm getting it right. So there's the real ending is she like winds up killing her husband.
Okay.
In the night while she's possessed.
That's the one that was in theaters?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she like her head like tilts all creepy like demon possessed women do, you know.
Yeah.
And she like stares at the camera and then just like attacks the camera as if to say, well, this is me now. Because you can't see anything else. This is my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm a demon woman.
Right.
Nice to meet you. The not in theaters one, also very scary, kills the husband. Then she gets a knife out of nowhere and slits her own throat in front of the camera and then just collapses and the camera just keeps rolling.
Yeah.
And that's the other.
That I feel like the first one's scarier.
I think so too.
'Cause
Well,
now it's
yeah.
just a demon running around.
Less violent, but yeah, I think it's scary.
It is. Yeah, it's way less violent, but it's like just in terms of like what happens after that.
Yeah.
Then you've got a demon lady out in the world. You know.
Yeah. Just voting, getting jobs, just being a demon.
Yeah. She just wanted a regular life. That's what she.
Yeah.
But she didn't like her husband.
No.
That's hilarious. So how do you like this still is that very much a part of your life? This didn't like
So this fear isn't something that I think is very present. But
like when you were a kid,
yeah.
you would lose sleep over this all the time? Like this was like
yeah, sometimes for sure. I can remember, this is such a silly thing. I can remember like washing my face.
okay.
Being like when I was like maybe my early teens even. Washing my face in the bathroom sink and being scared that if I looked up into the mirror, it would be a different face. It'd be
Sure.
like a demon face.
Absolutely.
And I remember having that fear a lot. And then I remember being in the shower, and for some reason this was connected to The Exorcist or being possessed, as I was like, oh, if the lights go out, what if all the lights went out right now while I'm in the shower, and then I'm trapped here, and then there's a demon? Like none of it was logical,
Sure,
like at all. But I just would like I would just think myself into being scared.
Yeah, I feel like the bathroom is a real good place for that type of shit because it's an isolated room. Usually locked door.
Yeah.
And especially when you're showering, there's enough noise to where you don't really hear what else is going on in the house. So you're just in your own little bubble. That's a real good place to start having those
yeah.
real creepy fears. Because like I used to I was never really afraid of a demon face, but I was worried that the reflection in the mirror would move in a way that I wasn't moving.
Oh,
you know, like smile
yeah.
or something, and
Sure.
that like just for a split second. And like so there was times when I was little where I didn't want to make eye contact.
Scary.
It's like I was so afraid.
Right.
And then in
what
the
fuck does
shower,
that mean?
To
if
this
that
day, I'm
happens?
still afraid when I shower. Like when I'm showering home alone, I wash my face and my hair so fast because I need to have my eyes open.
Right.
Always afraid I'm gonna die in the shower.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge coward. But so like this freaked you out a lot as
Yeah.
a kid, and then it just slowly eased up, or do you combat it in any way?
I think I just don't involve myself. I think I forget about it.
Yeah.
Like
And then
it's-
you actively don't watch possession movies.
Yeah, I actively don't watch possession movies. Like anything that's got like Exorcist or Exorcism in the title. Exorcism of
Yeah.
Emily Rose? No, thank you.
Yeah, no
I'm
thanks.
not going to see that. So yeah, I think I've just avoided it. But as we've talked about, I mean, the fear of not being in control, it's not phobia would be way too strong of a word.
Sure.
But definitely that's a concern that is at least on the back burner all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't even like not taking my bike places because I don't want to rely on public transit or cars to take me somewhere. I kind of feel trapped if I can't bike somewhere.
That makes sense.
And that's maybe, I don't know what you would describe that as, but that's a real thing that I feel.
No, that makes sense. I like to have an exit strategy. Like if I'm somewhere close, I'm really not worried about it because I trust the fact that I can at least get a cab,
Yeah.
you know, which could also turn into something scary if you really
Right.
obsess over it. But sometimes you just got to get used to dealing with certain risks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like there've been, I don't know, a friend would go on a road trip, like a 2-hour road trip to like a place to do comedy. And the plan is go there, tell your jokes, go home. And then the people that they were with would decide like, oh no, we want to hang out at this bar and like, I don't know, watch this football game or something, you know? And then it's like they're suddenly stuck there until the people they're with want to leave.
Yeah.
And that itself will freak me out because I'm like, you're just trapped. Like you have no control over that situation.
Yeah.
You could whine. You could be like, no, take me home right now. But it's like, what are you going to do? You can't get on a fucking megabus at that point. Like you're not going to take a cab 2 hours home, you know?
Right.
That itself that just leaves me feeling trapped.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I have a lot of like claustrophobic stuff.
Also.
So I feel like that plays into it.
Sure.
It's just
that makes sense.
beyond my control moment.
They're cousins for sure.
Yeah.
And then to kind of bring it back to this, I mean, if you're possessed, you're just trapped in your own body, which is the tiniest vessel you can be in, you know.
Ugh.
I wish everyone could see the face you just made at that.
Tyler. Yeah, this is going to ruin my day.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You want to come to Milwaukee with me?
Yeah, sure.
Would that make you feel better?
Well, no, because then I
Go to a bar and then we can go to watch a football game.
might not get a ride home. Actually, you know, Milwaukee does have megabuses though, so that wouldn't be like it's more like when like suburbs shows.
Sure.
There's less options then, but like Milwaukee, I could get on a megabus. I think I'd be fine in Milwaukee. I don't know why I obsess over getting home so much.
You got exit strategy, man. I get it.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of the times these situations aren't that bad for me to be in, the ones that I want to get out of, but it's just the fact that I can't get out of them freaks me out.
Yeah, you want to have options.
Yeah, like what's so much better about being home? I'm an idiot.
Like I get it. I'm presently hungover. I remember being in a situation where I was outside. I was like leaving my house while hungover, out of unfortunate necessity. And I remember thinking, like, I just want to throw up outside.
Yeah.
And there's all these people enjoying their day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to ruin their day. I mean, it's not that I want to throw up outside, but I'd like the option. You know what I mean?
And that's what makes it feel like you have this anxiety of I have to find a place to throw up.
Yeah.
Sometimes that makes you want to throw up more.
I know, yeah, because it's just building on itself.
Walking dogs get in that pickle a lot with peeing.
Oh, sure.
Because I can't pee in not everyone's house. I just pee in people's houses, like just like on their couch and shit. I
blame it on the dog.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, like a lot of times, some of my clients are home, or like they have cameras, and I'm not comfortable, looking for their bathroom with their cameras and stuff. So I don't always have the option to pee. And like 3 days ago, I had to pee so bad in the morning. Like on my second dog, I already had to pee so fucking bad.
Yeah.
So I just walked, keeping an eye out for houses under construction. And then I found a porta potty in an alley, and I just had the dog like stand outside the porta potty while I peed. 6 hours later, I was doing that same dog and I had to pee again. So I went and found the same porta potty and did that.
That's so funny.
But that happens to me all the time, and it makes the need to pee feel worse because I'm like, I can't. Like, there's no place for me to do this, and like I just wish I could just pee in an alley. Like, but it's in the middle of the day and I'm walking a dog. Man, I got to get my shit together.
This is an intervention. Actually, this is like really, you're not like doing any substances that anybody thinks is bad, but just generally Charlie.
Yeah, just my general anxieties. Oh man,
how do you feel? I feel like
that was a good conversation.
I feel like we dissected this. I think I have discovered reasons why I have gotten over this, or I have avoided this fear.
Yeah,
not gotten over it, but I have not actively scared of it. And also, I have new reasons to be afraid of it when I watch a movie accidentally.
Do you ever want to challenge it? Force yourself to watch a Scary possession movie?
get possessed and see if I can
See if you can
it.
overcome the devil.
Well, now that is a movie we're gonna write.
What, you overcoming the devil?
Yeah, Tyler versus the devil. Has anybody done that where they like get possessed on purpose to see if they can win?
I think no, I don't think so. But I think that does kind of happen in The Exorcist. Kind of. He doesn't win though. He takes the possession from her, and then he commits suicide.
Then he dies
to like get rid of the demon. And then I think that's in the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, I forgot about Constantine.
I think that's how he exorcises people. Is he just accepts the demon into himself?
Yeah,
or tries to, and then once it's out, he kills it. I don't know.
Something like that, right? Because he's
how about that
supernatural
movie?
too.
Because that movie is really a guy with a bunch of like religious artifact tools.
Yeah, fighting demons.
Like and pretty successfully fighting demons.
Yeah,
Do you think that would freak you out watching that?
I saw that movie in high school. It didn't freak me out.
Because for once it wasn't so like super helpless.
Yeah, I think so. Because you're like on that guy's side.
Yeah,
and he's like the hero or whatever.
yeah. That's really what
it's
it
like
is.
kind of an action movie
just
too,
the
isn't
helplessness.
it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a very very long time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm pretty vague on these details. But yeah. Plus, it's like just a dumb fun Keanu Reeves movie.
Just a dumb fun Keanu movie. Yeah.
Gotta enjoy those.
Have you seen? Here's a good one. Have you seen Drag Me to Hell?
No, I heard that one's fun though.
It's super fun. It's made by the same guy. It's made by Sam Raimi, who made Evil Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's very campy, and it's basic. There's a bunch of like boo factors things.
Sure.
So like things that pop up, which is good fun.
Yeah.
But basically this girl pisses off a gypsy, and so the gypsy curses her.
Yeah.
And so the rest of her life is a demon or a ghost or something is trying to just haunt her and make her life miserable, and then literally drag her into hell.
Okay.
And there's like a part where something gets possessed, and they like send the possession into a goat, and then the goat can talk, and it's like a bit of like comic relief because the goat's like, "You fucking bitch!" Like it's super silly. But that movie scared me for different reasons. Mostly the boo factor stuff, but there's some real, there's some stuff in there too, I guess, about being possessed that I don't remember the details on, but it's.
Did it scare you, or was that?
It didn't really stick with me. That movie's kind of
fun.
too much fun,
Yeah.
actually.
That's what I heard. Like, I heard a lot of people were like, it was really scary, but it was also super fun. So it was like not that scary.
Yeah.
Just because it was like a fun, silly, like over the top. I don't know. Like you said, campy. Just taking all of those tropes and stuff and mashing them into one movie.
Definitely. But I thought the production value was real high. I thought it was super underrated. When I saw it, I was like, I saw it way late. And I was like, I can't believe nobody made me see this already.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but that's what I've heard. Like I want to see it because that's what every like word of mouth review that I've heard of has said. Like I saw it like a couple of years afterwards, and I couldn't believe nobody was talking about it. Like that's what everyone says. So I don't know. I got to check it out.
Give it a shot.
Well, folks, check out Drag Me to Hell.
This is sponsored by Drag Me to Hell.
They're just real late with their marketing. That was their problem. Is they didn't market
Podcast
properly.
hadn't really come out very much yet, so they just didn't know.
Man. So you feel like we've uncovered it? Like we've gotten as deep as we're gonna get with this?
Maybe.
Do you have anything you want to reveal last minute?
I'm a demon.
Oh fuck!
And I'm here to ruin
I wish
your
you
life.
had told me this. This would have been a completely different interview.
Yeah, I think this is the most I've ever talked about this. So to me, there's probably more to uncover. I'm sure we could dig deeper.
Yeah.
To me, this feels very thorough, and I feel like I understand that fear a lot more. You provided a bunch of stuff I hadn't even considered, and even before the interview started, like I said, I was thinking ahead of time, like, all right, so why did this stick with me for so long? And
yeah,
covered a lot of stuff.
Well, I hope one day. I guess I don't care. I hope one day you're fine, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not like this is a like day-to-day life ruining phobia.
I just hope I don't get possessed. That's really all.
And I think you're good.
Thanks.
I think you'll be all right. I don't know though. Sometimes in these movies, it's like the real like nice sweetheart guy is the one who gets targeted.
That's
you know, it's not like you have to be a bad person to be possessed.
Yeah.
But
usually it's like the more innocent you are.
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why though? I don't know. They like corrupt.
Yeah, I think that's like even scarier.
It's a
like
corruption
you
thing.
did everything right,
Mm-hmm.
and you still got this demon hanging out, and
Makes you a target.
yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, there's another layer for you to go home and play with.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me, man.
I had a great time chatting with you.
Me too.
Let's plug your shit.
Okay.
So you are a co-creator and co-host and co-producer of We Still Like You.
We Still Like You. Yep.
Mentioned on last week's episode with Danny Gallegos.
Oh, right on. Heard
You
of her?
can find Google or Facebook search We Still Like You. Find their Facebook page because they are doing a consistent show once a month in the Flatiron Building, right?
Yeah, every
But then you're
first
also-
Saturday we're at Flatiron Building.
Yeah, in Chicago
Mhm.
on the what's that, the Six Corners or
Six
whatever.
Corners. Yeah, Wicker Park.
Yeah, and then but you're also doing pop-ups.
Yeah, for the summer at least, we're doing some backyard shows, and those we can't advertise publicly. So hit us up on Facebook if you want to know more about that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, find them there. And then where can they find you personally? Like
Sure. I
Snodzilla?
yeah. My Twitter is at Tyler Snod.
Yeah.
So I left the grass part off my name for that.
Where did I get Snodzilla? Is that what
that's
that
an
used to be?
That's an email address.
Oh,
I
that's your
have.
email. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm giving away your email
That's
address
okay.
publicly.
It's Snodzilla at earthlink.net.
Really?
No. SBC Global. No, not that either.
How about Instagram or anything, or like a Tumblr?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, Snodzilla is my Instagram also.
That's
And
where I got
then
it.
If you,
So you didn't have to give away your email address.
oh yeah, I didn't. I forgot. It's okay. And then if you feel like if you're new to comedy, you want to try some things out, I am at Shuba's Tavern, which is a super fun bar most Mondays, and I'd love to watch you do comedy.
Yeah, come do your
I'd
4
love
minutes.
to wave a cell phone light at you after 3 minutes.
Yeah, or one if you're saying a bunch of racist weird shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. You can find me at Charlie Roar. Roar is spelled ROHRER, and my Tumblr with my show dates and all that shit is Hear Me Roar, also ROHRER.tumblr.com. And I hate that. I hate this part of it. I hate it so much. But Tyler, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Charlie.
I had a great chat with you. I want to go watch these movies I've been putting off, like The Taking of Deborah Logan. That was supposed to be an amazing one. I don't know. Now you've got me like,
Ooh.
but then I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks.
That one sounds spooky.
I'm a
If
big
you want to
chicken.
watch Evil Dead or Drag Me to Hell, give me a call.
Fuck yeah, dude. If I get my hands on the remake, I'll hit you up.
Okay, yeah, be good.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man.
All right, thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.